got my 1R positions on the short side, right? If this thing bounces, it'll be completely different strikes. You know, if we bounce back up to 315 or whatever, I'm going to be looking at completely different strikes. But there's no way I'm buying calls here. There's no way. I feel the same way. And it's just over the 200 and this 204, and it's just sitting here chopping. If it can't get going, I think NVIDIA is just going to fall apart, man. We're going to see 194 today on this. Who knows? Who knows? I'm definitely not getting on the long side of anything right now. It's cracked 301. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Here comes the fear. That's what I'm talking about. This is why I didn't touch none of the calls. I just don't trust the long side. There's so much nice payday on these. Geez, I'm just hanging on to these now that they're next week's. I'll be looking at the double bottom to take some profits. Pre-market lows, maybe. Wow, look at this. This is what I'm talking about. Let's go, Netflix. Just fall apart. There we go. Spy new lows. What's Triple Q's going to do? Amazon falling apart. God, those puts, man. Those puts. Oh, well, I'm not even going to look at Amazon. NVIDIA got some strength there. Selling half. I'm looking for a pop here. I just need one little bounce. All right, let's see how it played out. So I ended up taking the Netflix short here. I got in a little bit early. Here, look at this, pull it up here. I ended up taking Netflix short here. I got in a little bit early on the, here's the 290 strike that I pulled the trigger on. Come across here. You see right at the open, I got in. So as soon as we got any kind of movement up here towards the top, I ended up getting in. And then I took my ad up in here. So once it actually reached my key level. So basically what I did, if I get in early, I'm always getting in half size. So you can see I got in here, and then I got in the other half of my position here. And then so just so you can kind of see how the options move. This is a 290 strike. You know, we're right around 305 at the time. And then as this breaks down and it starts hitting this higher low, right? So it hits this higher low. This is where I want to take my first sell in case we get a bounce. So into this weakness right here, and we get this pop on this puts, get into weakness. I took my sell right here across from this candle. You can see it's basically right in here. So I take that pop, I take my first sell, lock in some profits. Now I'm looking for an ad. I want to get those sells back, and you know, it kind of pops back up, but not enough for me to get a good ad at a better price. Well, I probably sold a little bit too soon in hindsight, right? But at the time, who knows, right? But at least here, I get my ad back. I'm getting my full size back before the breakdown, and then boom, crack, it breaks down. So we start testing pre-market lows here. Well, it's not really pre-market lows, but we start testing here. You know, we get this nice reclaim, dip, reclaim this level right around 297. We dip into that again. We dip into, so right here is like I'm thinking this is probably the next best chance for a bounce. So I sell into that strength. It does break down a little bit more. I could tell I've sold a little bit too soon, so I sell a little bit more. Now I'm just looking for an ad. Well, we never got it, right? So I would much rather be in with half size on this than take an ad and ruin the trade and take myself out of the trade right before a big move. So I just don't take an ad. I wait till things settle down here. We get this pop back up. I go ahead and take my ad, and then I can see where it's starting to rip. I take that ad off. So I took an ad here thinking that, you know, if we do get this one more breakdown, the market's going to fall apart, and it just didn't. In fact, it ended up being the nice long of the day. So I basically took my ads back off, got back down to small size on that. You know, so this could have been, you know, like whatever. This is about a $3,000 win, but I save a small piece in case this thing breaks down, right? I'm saving a piece in case it breaks down. I'm adding to a winner, and so you know, I give back a little profits by saving a piece. But that's how I do it. Next up is this is another strike, was the 300s, and this is a little bit, you know, different time of the day. It's right in here. So this one here, I wasn't managing it. I wasn't doing anything with it, working a core, doing nothing with it. It was just one in, one out. And just so you can kind of see the relation to it here was, I even got in a little bit early on this double top around 305 in this area. This is where I got in. I just bought 10 contracts, and then I just put it away. And it's like, at the moment, I don't always take afternoon trades. In fact, I don't that often. The thought process behind this is, hey, we got a nice double top. I'm going to take it. If it rips and it ends up at 320, and today's the day that this thing goes back to 335, then these just go to zero, okay? And I just gave back, I don't know, a quarter of my profits for the day, okay? I just gave back a piece of my profits for the day. That's all right. I'm still green. It can't make me red. It's okay. It's within my rules. I'll take it. Um, so when it does this rip right here, I don't care. It's not even, doesn't even phase me. All I'm doing at this point is I'm taking the trade. Now it's all about time of day. Let's just see where it's at in the last hour. Okay, so I take the trade, I come back in the last hour, and I sell it. So I took this right here just for perspective. You know, it's $1. So right in this area, we're looking at about $1,000 trade, and we're looking at about a $4,000 exit. Okay, so it took $1,000 and turned it into $4,000 in the afternoon. And then NVIDIA, I took a couple of trades on NVIDIA, but again, same way on this, right at the open, testing the 200 MA, right in that strength. I mean, I wanted in case everything fell apart. This one I felt really strongly, and it was a lot closer to the 200 MA. I had a lot closer entrance to this. So I screwed up on this, and I bought next week's strikes on it. I was planning on playing this week's, but I pulled the trigger on next week's strikes. So once I realized I was in the wrong strikes, I decided to hold some of this into next week in case this thing breaks down some more. But as you can see, I took myself out on accident. So not only did I pull the trigger on the wrong strikes, paid more than I need to, I turned around and took myself out whenever I was selling my Netflix in the afternoon. I turned around and sold this one too, because I was in two different strikes of Netflix. I was trying to sell both of those. I was in the 310s also. So I was trying to sell both of those, and somehow NVIDIA looked an awful lot like Netflix to me while I was on my phone. So it's too funny. That's what happens when you trade from your phone. I didn't break any rules though. That's the important thing. Like I give myself the ability to trade from my phone. It's just I don't enter trades from my phone. And if I do, it has to be a really perfect setup like we had at the double top on Netflix. So, you know, I posted every day on Twitter, right? I pretty much say, hey, look, I'm out of here. I've locked in my day, and that's my goal. As soon as I've locked in a green day, I'm out. I have a life. I want a life. I've spent a lot of time glued on these screens all day long and giving money back. I've spent a lot of time glued to these screens and trading all day long and making more money. And the feeling of making more money during that afternoon and giving up all that freedom to trade the afternoon is nowhere near. I don't care how good it feels. I don't care how much money I make. It does not feel as good as it feels bad to give up my freedom, to give up my afternoon, and to give back a buck, right? Even $1 is just not worth it to me. So I just don't do it. But let me show you now. I leave a lot of money on the table because of it, right? But I'm okay. Like I'm okay with that. So I'm just going to show you one last little thing, just as perspective, is on the 300 strikes into this right here, grabbing the double top, right? If I had have been, if I had been a little bit more patient on the entrance, I just want to show you what's possible with options. So and I might have if I've been sitting at my desk is what I'm trying to say. And because of the fact that I have a life and I want a life and I'm not going to sit at the desk and sit and stare at these screens all day long, this is perspective, okay? So the low was 18. So from the low, there's 18 cents, okay? So I could have taken 10 contracts. I could have taken $180. $180 and sold it at the best price at 470. Okay, best price on this candle, 480. Okay, so from the low of 18 cents to 480, $180 into $4,800.